All right, we're locked and loaded on today's edition of Saints Now by Chat Sports. So the first thing we're going to be discussing, should New Orleans go and sign Randy Gregory? And then the Saints also added to their offensive line, who has been struggling recently. We're also going to talk about some injury news. We got a programming alert, so don't you miss out on that. And we're going to give some shout outs to some real ones. But before we get into all of that and then some, I need you to help me out. If you want the New Orleans Saints to take down Bill Belichick and the Patriots in Foxborough, I need you to like this video. If we get to 500 likes on today's video, I can almost guarantee a Saints win. Don't argue the science. Just trust that it works. I'm a guy on YouTube, so you got to know you can trust me. So let's talk about Randy Gregory, because reports coming out yesterday were that Denver was set to release Gregory. And as of right now, he has still yet to be officially released. So the Broncos are still looking for a trade partner. But should New Orleans go and sign the edge rusher, who's formerly with the Dallas Cowboys? If you want some interesting backstory, if you're not really familiar with Randy Gregory, he signed a 5-year, $70 million deal with Denver in free agency after a botched deal with Dallas. Now, Broncos defense, it's been a mess this year. Sean Payton does not have that unit firing on all cylinders. And Denver right now wants to focus on more young players. And to be quite frank, I'm going to be honest with you guys, Randy Gregory has not been good this year. Like, he hasn't been anything stellar. I wouldn't go and, trade for him by any means, but if he gets released, sure, maybe why not go and get him in free agency? But in 2022, credit where it's due, he was playing really well before he got that knee injury. And in terms of why he signed such a big deal with Denver after playing with the Dallas Cowboys, look at the numbers. 19 tackles, 4 tackles for loss, 6 sacks, then 2020, 3.5 sacks, 2018, 6 sacks, and then 2015 through 2016, he also had 1 sack. But then those numbers are way better than what we were getting in Denver over the last 9 games. 18 tackles, 4 tackles for a loss, 3 sacks, 2 forced fumbles. Randy Gregory, he's lost his step. He isn't the player he once was, and you can even tell by that with the pressure rates. See, in 2018, 11.5, 2020, 13.7, you saw the gradual increase, got up to 17.5%, dropped drastically to 8.9%. I just don't think that Randy Gregory is an amazing option. That being said, there's not a ton of great options out there. And quite frankly, the Saints pass rush could really use some help, because they're ranked 23rd in the NFL with 9 sacks this season. And right now, the NFL high is 16 with the Buffalo Bills, and here are your sack leaders. And there's a couple other guys that also have 1 sack, but Cam Jordan doesn't even have an entire sack log this season. Carl Granderson leads the team with 2.5. Rookie Bryan Bresee, who we continue to see every single week, was an absolute draft hit by this unit. Demario Davis, he is leading in the linebacker area. Alontae Taylor, a cornerback, leading in sacks. Nathan Shepard, free agency acquisition in that defensive interior, also leading the Saints sack leaders. I think that Randy Gregory might be able to add a little bit of juice. It's a better name than it is a player. I'm just going to call it that right now. I think that going and getting a guy like Randy Gregory adds a good name to your roster, but I don't think that it necessarily adds a great production to the team. So I want you guys to sign off and let me know, should New Orleans go and sign Randy Gregory? Type S for sign, type P for pass. And coming up here on the program, we still got some roster news. We got some injury news, some shout-outs to give, and that really awesome programming alert to tell you all about. But before that, I also want to give a huge shout-out, and I want to thank Game Time for being today's sponsor on the video. So do you hate missing out on your favorite live events? Well, just this month, Game Time has helped me get to more live events that I love going to. I got to get floor seats for my girlfriend and I to Zach Bryan. I got Arkansas versus A&M club level seats at Jerry World. And on top of that, I also got tickets to go see the Dallas Stars here in DFW. And I was able to do that with the Game Time app. And it is my favorite ticketing app. So download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code SAINTSCHAT for $20 off your first purchase. Game Time has deals on tickets right up to the start of the event and even an hour after it starts. And it is the place to find last-minute seats. And one of my favorite parts about Game Time is how easy it is to use. You literally can just scroll up and down all throughout the different sections being like, all right, what's my view? What am I going to be looking at? And then you can pull your phone out in this little screen right here. I think it's so cool. You can literally be like, all right, what am I looking at? Is there going to be somebody with a sign here? Is there a big scoreboard? Is there a pillar in my way? You can see what your view is actually going to be in those seats. So like I said, SAINTSCHAT. Plug in that promo code to get $20 off. One more time, take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code SaintsChat for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. All right, so a roster update for you New Orleans Saints fans. On X, we updated the graphic. It ain't the Twitter background, it ain't the Twitter logo. It's X because we updated it. The Saints are they signed former first-round offensive lineman Cam Erving to the practice squad per source, coming in from Nick Underhill of NewOrleans.football. So let's get to know Cam Erving. So he was the 19th overall pick out of Florida State. Funny enough, and this was back in 2015 by the Cleveland Browns before I get to my next point. Funny enough, he did play with Jameis Winston back at Florida State, which is pretty cool. So in terms of his career, he's lined up at that left tackle spot more than that left guard position, but he has a lot of left guard snaps. And with Cesar Ruiz actually at practice today, we're going to get to some injury news here in just a second. The interior offensive line has been struggling big time. He does have stops with the Cleveland Browns, the Kansas City Chiefs, the Dallas Cowboys, and the Carolina Panthers. He did win a Super Bowl with the Chiefs as a member of their practice squad. And I'm just going to say it. I think that this addition does make some sense. You need offensive line help. The interior has been terrible. Let's just call it how it is. It's not been good. And quite honestly, when you have Andrus Peat as your starting left guard, I don't really like it. I'm just going to say it. Not a big fan. Cesar Ruiz, he's normally a starter in this unit, but you've seen this graphic before. The PFF grades are atrocious. I mean, it's just bad. But look at what Cam Erving did last year. His pass blocking grade is really good. Run blocking grade, not that good. The overall grade, it's nice. It's nothing to go run home about. But he also allowed 0 sacks, 0 quarterback hits, 0 pressures. But it's in a very limited sample size of just 76 snaps. So don't expect him to make a huge impact right away. I'm going to be honest, I don't think he's going to be a huge member of the offensive line. I think that you could see him maybe get activated to the active roster if there's injuries. You have Max Garcia. You drafted Nick Saldiveri as well to fill in for the offensive line. So I think that you might not need to go and activate a guy like Cam Erving, but I will say I don't think he's going to make a huge impact today, but they did add to the roster. I know a lot of Saints fans have been wanting more offensive line help, so there you go. You got someone. But guys, you are invited, so join us for our watch party live at 11 a.m. Central on Sunday. We're going live an hour before kickoff. Normally we go live about 30 minutes before, but we're going an hour this week because I want to hang out. I'm feeling really good about this week. I'm feeling some really good juice. And also, I might be dressed really good if it's up to y'all. If y'all help me out, I might be looking real nice. I might be able to, be feeling funky fresh, be looking absolutely fly, look like the cleanest man this side of the Mississippi if we get to 21,000 subscribers. I'm going to wear a suit. Got the tie, got the black blazer. I even might throw on a jersey under it. It might be kind of crazy, but currently we need 182 subs to make that happen before Sunday. And guys, if you want to join the party with these 5 awesome members of the Houdat Nation, Queen Courtney Burgess, Jeremy Gates, Jerry G, my main man Nico Canada, and my guy Dwight Foster, I encourage you to subscribe, join these 5 awesome subscribers we have here at the channel, and join us on Sunday. All right, so let's get to that injury news because that is important stuff to talk about. So here's what we saw from the practice report on Wednesday. The list of guys who did not practice or did not participate. Juwan Johnson with a calf issue. Lonnie Johnson Jr., hamstring. Jimmy Graham, rest. Andrus Peat, he, funny enough, actually replaces Cesar Ruiz on the list with a concussion. Cesar Ruiz also was out last week with the concussion, so that is interesting to monitor. Ruiz was back at practice today. He was participating, so he was not a member of the injury report. But Ryan Ramczyk, he was on a rest day / foot injury, but it's a rest day. He usually has a early rest day. Bryan Bresee was out with an illness. Nothing really crazy to monitor there. Shouldn't be much of a problem. But we have some limited participants as well. Paulson Adebo back in on the mix. Gotta love to see that. Isaac Yiadom, according to PFF, fun fact, is the highest graded cornerback in the NFL right now, which is kind of weird to think. But Isaac Yiadom has been a decent fill-in for Paulson Adebo, I would say. Sure, he gave he had that great pick that against the Bucks, but then it quickly turned into a Bucks touchdown because the Saints offense couldn't do anything right. But hey, Derek Carr was a limited participant. He was throwing the ball around. He was moving around and stuff. Eric McCoy with his knee injury also was a limited participant. But we did have two guys who were full participants. Jordan Howden, who missed last week with the finger issue. Foster Morrow, who missed last week with an ankle injury. He was also out there and ready, running around. They were full participants, so you got to love to see that. But in terms of your competition, so this is actually pretty unfortunate news for Christian Gonzalez. He's likely to miss the rest of the 2023 season with a torn labrum. Not good. That does not feel good. I've never done it, but it sounds like it hurts a lot. And he's going to undergo surgery soon, so obviously you hate to see that. I mean, he was leading. He was probably the top guy for Defensive Rookie of the Year, in my opinion. I think he was playing very, very good defense for Bill Belichick and that Patriots unit. But he got replaced because you want to know why? Patriots traded for J.C. Jackson, a very familiar name for that team. Remember, he was with the Patriots, then went to the Chargers, he's now back with the Patriots. Yeah, so there you go. Right before you play the frickin' Saints, get to go up against J.C. Jackson. Isn't that going to be so fun? And in terms of the production for him this year, 3 tackles, 3 pass breakups, and an interception. So it's going to be a fun game. It's going to be a lot of fun, and it's going to be a very exciting time. So, guys, if you want to get any extra coverage outside of these videos or in between these videos or even on game day, outside of our watch party, I'm going to be tweeting out highlights. I'm going to be posting about it on my Instagram. So give me a follow on X, formerly known as Twitter, at TraceGerard48, Instagram, at TraceGerard48. I'm trying to grow my social media platforms, and you can help me out by doing that by just giving me a follow. So I encourage you to do to hit me up, interact with old Trizzy Trace. I love talking to the Who Dat Nation. And if you're still rocking and roll with us, shout out to you. You are an absolute legend. Give me a stay golden in the comment section because you are a real one, and you are my best friend. But guys, as always, y'all stay golden. We'll see you next time.